All right, in this video lesson, we're going to see how to use or how to import the grades from the gradebook, um, maybe using a method of copying it from Excel or importing as a CSV. So importing the grades from an external source is the objective of this video. To uh, to demonstrate this, I created a new course, which is actually a demo course, which I've created as a faculty development. Yes, so we have a course. Yes. Now here in this course, this is a fresh page. We've got 15 topics. Now, if you go to the grades, in my previous video, I was talking about the difference between a category and grade item. So if you go to the gradebook setup, you can add categories. The reason I created a new course and showed you is because this is the best practice. When you get access to the course, what you need to do is you need to go to uh, the gradebook setup. So that's right here, and then click on setup and create the categories based on your assessment pattern. For example, I have class test, and I go to add that. So category one is created. I've got another category, which is actually assignment. So here, my previous video, I mentioned before you save it, make sure that the category total name is also the same. Perhaps if you wanted to have a kind of total, so this is how it can be given as a label. So let's assume that 40 is my assignment total. So this is the best practice when you want to export the data. This will be labeled as mentioned as category total. And here, when if you have a look, now I've got two categories. My class test is a subcategory or sub assessment, or we call it as assessment element of faculty development program. It comes under that. So again, a new element of assessment, which is assignment, which is not part of class test, rather it's part of the course. So I don't change the parent. If suppose we have, let's say, class test 1 and class test 2, so and if you wanted to create something like that, a category inside the main one, then you need to choose this, so it will be part of, or it will be child of that. So here I'm going to select the course by default. What the course name is a parent category, so I'm going to leave it as such and click on save changes. Now I've got two categories. One is class test and assignment. Now coming back to the grade items. So the grade items can be created in two ways. One is like you go to the course, and when you add an activity, so that is when you click on turn editing on, and then if you go to activity, any activity when you add it, you will be able to I'm just giving a value, random lecture 1, and then when I click give an activity, so it's going to be part of the gradebook. So if you come back here, you can see that, yes, that's right here. Now, while you create the activity, you can actually, I think this is the best place to mention that. When you create an activity, if you wanted to categorize it while you create the activity, you have to go to the grade of the activity, be it quiz, be it assignment, and here there will be a grade category section. So here you can map it, which category does this activity belongs to. So that this is the main reason I told before you start uploading any activities, you need to set up your gradebook. Let's say that I'm going to keep this as a class test activity, or I'm going to categorize it as a class test. Now, when I click on save and return to the course, and if I go back to my gradebook, what I would see is I would see that it's going to, okay, so in my graded report, under the clusters, I get to see the lecture. So this is how you can categorize, or this is how you can create a grade item in first method. In the second method, I would like to say second method as 2a and 2b. 2a is actually you can create a grade item without adding an activity. Let's say mid semester, and here, okay, after giving mid semester, here, if you click on show more, you can give the maximum score. Excuse me, you can give the maximum score. Let's say that my mid semester is going to be 30, so I can give 30. And if there is a minimum passing mark, you can mention that too. Grade items can be created as values, scale, and text. Let's say that you don't want it to give the value as a raw score, rather you want it to just publish it as a letters. So you can go to the text and you can make it as a text. So it won't take any value, rather it will take only text as input. So this is the gradebook item setup in the second method. And now what I do here is again the same option. I can map it to the particular category. So here I'm going to make this assignment. Sorry, yeah, let's make it as assignment. Now I'm going to save changes. So what I did is I manually created a grade item, gave a value, and gave all the details and map it to the assignment category, and then I'm going to click save changes. If you see here, that's right here. You don't have an icon like an assignment because it's manually created. So this is one. And other way of doing this is if you go to the import option, you can import some grades from an external source. You can do it in two ways. One is you can make an Excel spreadsheet and import it, or maybe paste from Excel spreadsheet. Normally, what I prefer to use is paste from Excel spreadsheet. This trick which I always follow when while importing the score or while getting the score, because sometimes when you get the sheet from the exam department, they follow a format. To have my own format, I go to export, I unselect all the files, and okay, before that, so this is why if you remember while I was creating the assignment category, I mentioned about the category total label. So it will appear when you export the grades. So that's the reason we can give clearly what you expect to have an Excel sheet as category total name, or else it will be like a generic name like this. Okay, coming back to this, so I go to export and then I just unselect all and click on download. Now what's going to happen is um, it's going to create some Excel file for me, which will have the student list. Yeah, yes, there we go. We have the Excel, which is opened. Yeah, here we go. Yes. Okay, so what happens here is I get the exact details of students in my Excel sheet. Once this Excel is been downloaded, what I normally do is I remove the last column. The last column's value is just the download date and time, and I will give the label. Suppose if it's a mid semester, I give a label mid semester, or you can give any label, and then you can give the scores. Now, let me show you before mapping it to the existing one, let me show you 2B process. That is, I told you, in manually creating the grade items can be done in two ways. One is actually creating a grade item and mapping the score to that grade item, or directly you can create a grade item and then enhance the score. So let's do two things here. One is actually I'm going to keep this mid semester as one, and then I will create another like grade item called homework. So in our example, we have mid-semester score in 30 inside the gradebook setup. So I'm just going to pull the marks out of 30 onto this Excel sheet, and um, and in the second grade item, we didn't create anything in the gradebook. So what I'm going to do is I've got some row scores out of 100, so I'm just going to put those values here. So after having the row scores, or after having scores in, it need not to be 100. You can keep any score. You can keep it in 10, 20, 30, 40, up to you. So I've got two grade items. One is going to be mid semester and the other is going to be homework. Now I can do in two methods. I can save this as a CSV. So when I click on CSV, it will ask you where to save it in the browser. So I'm going to say CSV and download. So I've made a CSV. Now I can go back to my course and go to import and just go for the first option and then choose my file explorer, find the file, which is actually from the location. So I've got, yeah, I've got CSV. Let me try the recent. All right, so here we go. So I've got CSV here. So this is how you can have a CSV. This is not a bad method, but I really recommend the easiest method. What I have seen is pasting from Excel spreadsheet. So the reason is you don't need to create an extra file. Only thing what you need to have is you need to have an Excel. The first row in Excel should be the header, that is the name or username, the name, and then whatever the item name or items value or items identifier, like most probably mid-semester homework or assignment, that should be given in the first row. And from the second row onwards, you can have the student details and the scores which they have achieved. And after making this kind of Excel sheet, select the cells from the first till the last cell where you have the last value, and go to copy, come back to this box and paste the data. Now you have the data, and then you click on upload the grades. Now when you click on upload the grades, you will find this window. In this window you can say, okay, this might be a bit confusion for people. So let me explain you very in a simplified format. I've got my first column in the Excel sheet, the username. So what I'm going to tell Moodle is, you have the first column in the existing pasted content as username. This has to be matched with the system's username value. So these two are going to be matching. And then if this is matching, then what you need to do is you need to copy the mid-semester mark to mid-semester grade item, and the homework, I want you to create a new grade item. So these things are not needed. First is you need to provide an identifier. So I said in my first column I have the username, so that username you map it with the username of the system, and then After that, what you need to do is you can ignore. I am not interested in the username, displaying the username, first name and last name. What I'm interested in displaying the mid semester result and the new grade item, which is homework. So the mid semester result is matched with mid semester, and the homework is like, and I'm going to initiate creating a new grade item for homework. Now I upload the scores. When I do that, what I get is if the formatting is right, I get great import success message. And when I click on continue, you would see that it's been created. So if you see the mid-semester score was not given, now you can see the mid-semester score is coming up here, and here the homework is going to have what I have given as a row score. Now when you come back to the gradebook setup, you can see that by default the system is creating a grade item. Since while I was importing, I had taken the option create a new grade item. So if I go one step back here, you can see that that is when I created the grade item. I said, sorry, when I was like, trying to export, I said I wanted to have this as a new grade item. So since because I did that, I got a new grade item. I got a new grade item which is created. So I will just come back to the setup. Yes. Now I got a new grade item which is created. Now here, if you see, that's why it is shown in haunted. And if by chance at times we might require a change in the default grading. By default, it's going to be 100. If you wanted to change the default grading, go click on the edit settings, and then say go to the rescale of the grade and say yes for it. What you're going to do is the default grade, which is on 100, is going to be changed on 30. Let's say by default you uploaded the mark. You didn't know about, okay, it is by default it is on 100. You copy the mark from exam department, which was on 30, and then you just uploaded it. So the mark came on, the actual weightage is 100 and your score is on 30. In that case, you don't need to make any changes. What you need to do is you have to just go here and make this as 30. But in my case, I have made the mark on 100. So I need to have a rescale for the marking. So now the system will automatically change my score from 100 to 30. So I'm going to click on Save Changes. Now if you see here, yes, it has become from 100 to 30. So this is how you import grades from an external source onto the Moodle Gradebook setup page. Thank you.